And as we head into the weekend, it is going to be a great one. Lots of sunny skies, really comfortable conditions, and warmer than normal as well. So things are looking good for all those weekend events. We'll still be a little bit on the gusty side. Outside right now from our KSBY studios looking towards San Luis Obispo on our Skycam 6, great conditions right now as the sun begins to set. Even though we don't really have any other major concerns today, still those winds coming off the Western Grade made its way through the region today and caused some pretty significant changes in our conditions. Today we got up to 85 degrees in San Luis Obispo, 71 along our north coast in Cambria, 84 in San Ynez, 81 in Santa Maria, and 83 in Santa Barbara. Now these temperatures not typical for this time of October. If you got outside and you were thinking it's a lot warmer than it should be, it's exactly right. And that's all to do with the winds. We've got the strong offshore push, which is taking already pretty warm air over our highest elevations, compressing them back down towards sea level, and that warms up that air. It's that simple physics reaction where it compresses and warms things up. That's really what we saw. Here's what we're seeing right now. It's not in the 80s and more, but still quite warm out there. 72 in San Luis Obispo, 70 in Santa Maria, 75 in San Ynez, 72 in Santa Barbara. A few 60s going to start mixing in first in the interiors, then towards our beaches. It's still going to be a little bit of a chilly night for many communities, but where those winds are sticking around, kind of like last night, we're still going to be quite warm. In the middle of the night, we saw some temperatures in San Luis Obispo again in the 70s, but it did cool down a little bit before then. Here's what we're looking at currently with those winds. They have calmed down pretty significantly. We did see that offshore push. You can see a little bit of that kind of remaining in the interiors, not very well supported at this point. The majority of our winds now are in that north-south direction. Still a little bit of a risk for some sundowner winds along our south coast. That's not going to be too much of an issue for most of our communities, just kind of something to be aware of, especially if you're headed over San Marcos Pass on 154 tonight. A little bit gusty there. Then tomorrow we're going to be seeing those offshore winds kick in once again. That's going to warm us up dramatically. How much though? 84 again in San Luis Obispo, 81 in Santa Maria, 79 in Lompoc, 80 in Santa Barbara, 79 up in Paso Robles, staying pretty warm along all of our north coast communities, 72 up in San Simeon, nearly 80 degrees tomorrow in Avila Beach. Pretty nice day for a beach day, and all those events going on across the Central Coast have great weather headed for them. 79 up in San Miguel on Saturday in the 5 cities communities. Pismo Beach at 69 degrees, great for the Clam Festival there. 79 in Nipomo, 76 up in Shandon and along our south coast. Very comfortable, although still quite warm. 81 in Goleta, 83 in Los Alamos. Solvang and San Ynez are going to be in the mid 80s. We could see a couple 90s tomorrow if the winds push in just right. Most areas staying in the 80s, but it is very much a possibility for tomorrow. We're going to be seeing similar conditions on Sunday, plenty of sunshine across our coastal valleys, a little bit more of that cloud cover along our beaches. Not too bad if you're headed out of town. The LA Basin is seeing a bit of a Santa Ana wind event, getting in the 80s, 70s for San Francisco, 80s in Las Vegas. And here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Staying in the 80s in Paso Robles all the way through Monday. Then a slight cool down is headed our way. 70s and 60s in San Luis Obispo, but still 80s over the weekend. Santa Maria and Santa Barbara staying comfortable in the mid 70s all the way through the end of next week when a little bit more cloud cover moves in for Friday. Richard, back to you.